have a very important task for you today, young wizard. Your studies will have to wait. You've done such a great job elsewhere. I could use your magic on Colossus Boulevard. I had to lock the gate because the street had become too dangerous. Professor Greyrose summoned an army to run out the ghosts. Something must have gone very wrong with her spell. The gate guard, Private O'Doyle, can tell you more. Please find him in the shopping district and see if he needs help.
Aha! You've seen the signs, haven't you? Why, signs of the end of the spiral, of course! Peculiarities, instances of pure impossibility! You may not have seen them yet, but you will! The Gravulem Order has detected increasing numbers of pecrons all across the spiral. Pecrons? Why, they're invisible micro-magic particles that exist and don't exist at the same time. In concentration, they create peculiarities. That's the theory, at least. The Gravulem Order is dedicated to investigating this frightening trend, and we need your help. Take this Gravulem badge and get a reading from the Gobblers on Colossus Boulevard. Do this, and we might even invite you into the Order.
Can I help you? Oh, yes, of course. You're the one I was told about. I'm Principal Monstrologist, Gilder Burke. Thanks for coming. Headmaster Ambrose is allowing me to recruit talented and studious young wizards for an exciting new elective program, Monstrology. It's an ancient practice from my home world, Albion, and I've come to share Monstrology throughout the spiral. So let's get started. The motto of Monstrology is, know thine enemy. You'll learn to profile your enemy, extract their strengths, and use them to your benefit. We use special monstrological extract spells to enchant damage spells, which can then capture an enemy's very essence, or animus. An enchanted spell that deals damage will result in extraction of one animus, plus an additional animus is extracted with a defeating hit. Now pay attention here, because this is very important. To formally collect the animus you've extracted, you must win the duel. Once you've successfully collected an enemy's animus, their profile is added to your Monstrology tome, so you can reference them at any time. There's much more to Monstrology than that, of course, but I find 'tis easier to do than to listen. It's high time for some field work. Take this extract undead animus spell, and since you're new to Monstrology, you'll want to start with the lost souls on Unicorn Way. Extract one lost soul animus, then return here, and we'll wrap up your introduction to Monstrology.
As the professor of life magic, it falls to me to tell you about a wonderful new activity available to students. I speak of gardening. Students at Ravenwood can plant and grow amazing plants in their dormitory rooms or castles. Wizards of all schools can garden. So my hope is that every student will learn the joy of shepherding new life. There is so much to learn about gardening, and I know just the person to teach you. Seek out Farley in Gavulem Court. He will explain the basics of gardening to you.
Hello again, young wizard. Now that you have reached level 10, you may participate in proper tournaments. Let us look at the tournament pedestal again, and I will tell you what you need to know. Use the tournament pedestal to see what tournaments are scheduled. To join a tournament, click the tournament name. It costs gold to join a tournament. The cost is displayed as well as the match time and duration. You can join a tournament by yourself or with a group if you wish to compete with your friends as a team. You will be placed in a bracket and paired with wizards of a similar skill level. You will receive a notification when it is time to duel. Each tournament will have a set number of opponents to duel. You are not out of the tournament the first time you lose. Also, tournament duels last for a set amount of time. If you run out of time, I will determine the winner. When you compete in a tournament, you win arena tickets. Remember, you can track your rankings on the leaderboard pedestal under the tournament section. Good luck, wizard.
Were you able to extract an animus from an undead enemy? Aye? Crackin'! Now it's time I show you the myriad ways monstrologists use animus. The Monstrology tome, notwithstanding, my personal favourite application of an animus is to create a summon monster treasure card. It's like an echo of the enemy you extracted it from, which can be summoned in combat, not unlike the way one summons a minion. You can also create an expel monster treasure card that's basically an instant defeat, one-shot silver bullet against a particular monster. If you've the proper lodgings, animus can also be used to create house guests, as well as monster echoes that your friends can duel. And don't worry if your house isn't equipped with a Joe sigil. That's what the Monster Dome is for! Now, if you've any questions, or simply feel the need for a refresher, consult the Monstromnibus here at any time. And remember, as your Monstrology... So, keep an eye out for me in your journeys throughout the spiral. Until then, welcome to Monstrology. Go on then, get cracking!
Greetings, my little wizard friend. You look like you're in need of some learning, and I'm happy to oblige. And if it's not too much trouble, I'll ask you for a small favor once I've finished yapping. So, where to start? Well, let me tell you about how gardening works. It all begins with the tiniest of things, a seed. That's it, a seed. Do you have a seed with you? Surely you must. What's that? You don't? Oh dear. And we're off to a poor start. Tell you what, will you run over to speak to Blossom, the life tree in the midst of Ravenwood? Ask her for a seed. Any type will do. She should set you up with something to get you started. Be off then, will ya?
Good day to you, young wizard. What can I do for you? A seed? Farley sent you? A most unusual request, but I should be able to help you. A plant's journey of life begins with it as a seed. There are many types of seeds, each with a different destiny. With enough energy, you can prepare soil of your choice in your castle, if you have one, or a planter in your dorm. Then, you can place the seed into the readied soil. After a time, it will begin to grow. You can shepherd its growth through spells and other means of caring for it, creating an environment for it to thrive. I will give you a seed. Take it back to Farley. He will tell you more.
Oh, you've got that seed? Fantastic. I recommend you roll up your sleeves and learn something about gardening. Let's see what kind of seed Blossom saw fit to give you. Oh, what's this? A dandelion? That'll do nicely. After you've planted your dandelion seed, it starts to grow. From seed to seedling, young plant, mature plant, to elder. You can use a number of helpful spells to usher it along as it grows, keeping it healthy and happy. Take a look at the row of 4 dandelions to the side of me, and examine each of them. When you're done, come back and I'll bend your ear some more, if you've got the patience for it.
This is a seedling, the youngest phase of life for a plant. You will need energy to plant a seed in a planter or the ground. After a seed is planted, you can use plant growth spells on it to help it flourish. Plants require some things to thrive and survive: water, sunshine, pollination, magic, and even music. Plants that are cared for with spells to satisfy their needs, will advance through the stages of life. Next, you should examine the young plant. This is a young plant in its next stage of life after seedling. You can observe your plant's growth visually and by using some simple spells. The plow spell allows you to remove a plant or dirt pile if you wish to do so. The revive spell allows you to transform a wilting plant into a young plant, ready to grow once more. Now you should examine the mature plant. This is a mature plant in the fullness of its growth. When a plant becomes mature, it can be harvested. You can harvest a plant by interacting with it. Each type of plant yields a different harvest: reagents, pet snacks, gold, treasure cards, or more seeds. You can harvest from a plant as long as it's in its mature stage of life. It's now time to take a look at the elder plant. This is an elder plant, the final stage of a plant's life cycle. Many plants won't reach this stage. An elder plant can be harvested one final time with much greater possible rewards. Once an elder plant is harvested, it disappears and cannot be revived. You should return to speak to Farley.
So, there you have it. Think you know it all now? Don't get carried away. I've still much to teach. I'm sad to say that gardening isn't all nurturing and happiness. Plants can be endangered by some very real threats. Take a look at the two unhealthy-looking specimens to the other side of me. Come back when you've seen for yourself what can happen.
This plant is wilting. It will die before too long if it's not taken care of. Plants can die if their needs are not met, or if they are killed by pests. Plants have likes and dislikes, things that encourage or discourage their growth. A plant's likes are things it enjoys being near. These can include other types of plants or gardening items. A plant will flourish if it is near things that it likes, while things it dislikes will cause it to become unhealthy. An important part of gardening is learning how to arrange your plants and create a healthy garden for them. You should examine the dead plant now. This plant is dead. Now all that can be done is to plow it over or revive it as a seedling. The greatest threat to plants are pests. Pests can infest a plant and hinder its growth. If pests are not eliminated, eventually the plant will begin to wilt and die. When a plant is infested by pests, it cannot be harvested, and growth spells will have no effect. To eliminate pests, you must use pest-fighting spells. To eliminate a pest, the spell must be of high enough rank. You can purchase pest-fighting spells from vendors throughout the spiral, or even win them as treasures. Farley can tell you more about how to get started gardening.
It's a sorry state to see plants doing so poorly, but it's important to know what risks there are when gardening. I think by now you've learned the basics of planting and gardening. If you've been paying attention, the seed Blossom gave you should be enough to get you started. I encourage you to try it out. You've already got the basic spells to care for your plant, and I can sell you additional spells and items for your garden. As you continue to garden, you'll reap the rewards in the form of harvests, badges, and even experience. I look forward to seeing you again with your newfound green thumb displayed oh so proudly. Best of luck to you.
Thank goodness the headmaster sent a wizard to aid us. We could really use your help. Strange creatures have taken over Colossus Boulevard. We don't know where they came from, but they eat everything in sight. We call them gobblers. I admire you wizards. My niece studies ice magic at Ravenwood, but I'm worried about her. She said she was doing some school project on Colossus Boulevard, but I don't know why she has to do it now. Would you go speak to her and see if she needs any help? Her name is Mindy Pixiecrown.
Beware, young wizard. There can be more opponents at one time compared to the amount of players participating in the battle. Be very careful.
That's so sweet of my uncle to send you. I'm so glad you came too. I've been doing some ice research for Professor Greyrose, but I had to stop. I really need your help. This is horrible. First the gobblers showed up and started eating everything in sight, and then these evil snowmen. They're all over the place. We must get rid of them, but there are so many. Hey, I know. Why don't you defeat some of them and see if that will chase the rest away?
Hello? Hello? Do you hear me? Oh, good! The badge is working. Orange reading. Pecron concentrations there are average. Good! Come back to Ravenwood.
Well, that didn't seem to make a dent in those gobblers at all. They're still eating the city. Go speak with Professor Greyrose. Maybe she will know what to do. I'll try to keep their damage to a minimum.
Well done, young wizard. Good news! You're a full-fledged member of the Gravulem Order now. Together, we'll figure out this peculiar business. Check in each day, and I'll give you a creature or location to test. You won't need to return. I'll get the reading from your badge remotely. Oh, and take this Gravulem lodestone for your house. If you prefer, use that to get your daily assignment. Very well. Until tomorrow, then.
Wizards unite! It's time everyone knows the key to defeating the forces of evil. Come see me in Old Town to learn more.
Oh dear, I was afraid of that. It was an accident. I didn't mean to summon those gobblers, and those evil snowmen aren't doing a thing to help. They're actually causing more trouble. The biggest problem with gobblers is that they're always hungry. Let's try brewing a potion to make them lose their appetite. The snowmen we'll deal with later. Here is a list of ingredients for the potion. Take it back to Minty Pixie Crown on Colossus Boulevard.
Hello, thanks for coming. My name's Blaze, and I'm determined to show all of my fellow wizards the secret to conquering foes. Teamwork. Magic gives us wizards lots of power. With the right spells in your deck, it's easy to feel like you can do anything, but that's not always true. The good news is, we can accomplish even more if we work together. I believe there's nothing better than helping out less experienced wizards. It's like we get to be professors ourselves. This is the Join a Team kiosk. Use it and you'll see a list of wizards who've asked for help with a tough fight. If you've beaten an enemy, you can help other wizards beat them too. Select someone to join their team. You'll join them after a timer expires. The wizards you're helping are questing. Let them talk to NPCs, solve puzzles, and use the sigil first if they want to. Be nice. If you leave without helping, you won't be able to help anybody else for 10 minutes. Come see me after you help someone. Pretty cool, right? Helping other wizards is one of my favorite things to do. You earn special badges for helping. Show me your badges, and I'll sell you great stuff. So go play it forward, wizard.